The show features adults using adult language and discussing mature topics. You have been warned. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. We're missing one player today, but that's fine. We'll keep trucking on. When we last left off, I believe the party went to rescue Irina from the Baron's mansion. And you guys got there. Hemlock disguised herself as Isaac, a big, tough, burly goon under the Baron's control, and was able to find Irina in Isaac's room. After a bit of trickery and stealth, she was able to free Irina, cast invisibility on her, and get her to get out of there. Meanwhile, the rest of the party found where the Baron was sleeping, and things escalated to the point where they caught the building on fire and they killed the Baron and Isaac. Is that the... Oh. Vivia is giving Hemlock a d10. So you got an extra d10 bonus that you can add to any d20 roll this session.
Thank you.
Thank you for that.
Sweet.
Then the group had a little chase scene through the town. Got the 5th edition chase mechanics. Had some Avatar cabbage cart wrecking shenanigans, and the group eventually ended up back at the Blue Water Tavern, where Irina was, and she believes that the town is not only not safe for her anymore, but not safe for the party either, after those actions that they've done. So she thinks they should go west to Krezik, next town over. Like the priest in Barovia Village told her to, Father Donovich. He suggested going there because apparently there's another church there, a bigger church run by some kind of abbot, who apparently is a higher level priest than him. And might be able to help. So, did any of you want to stay the night here, or did you want to pack up like right now and go, or take a rest of any kind, or?
I'd say take a rest and head out in the morning.
We probably shouldn't travel at night.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. Yeah. Forgot I had an accent.
Alright, it will be 1 silver per you guys for a night.
Okay.
And do you all take a long rest? Do you get separate rooms, or are you gonna like share one room? It doesn't really matter, because it'll cost the same. But I'm just curious.
I think that
because you all have bedrolls and stuff, so there's like only one bed, but plenty of room for like bedrolls and such.
I think that Hemlock would stay with Irina, if that's possible. Because
Yeah.
they're girls.
Yeah, Irina's fine with that. Let's see here. We do have a map of the tavern. I just want to see if it actually, how big the rooms actually are. Yeah, there's plenty of room. Yeah, okay, so here's your choices. There's a one room with 4 cots in it, or there's 2 rooms with 2 cots in each room that are open. You guys want to go with the one room with all 4 of you, or the 2 rooms in pairs?
2 rooms in pairs, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
The very at the very end of the balcony that leads up to the 2nd floor where these rooms are at. The very last one, the end, apparently is Rictavio's. And that's that reindeer guy.
Mm-hmm.
And you all go to take a long rest. And as you do, Tim-Tam, what are your greatest fears?
I guess. Oh. Basically, losing track of what's important. I mean, yeah, it's very vague. I mean, so getting too focused on like making inventions and getting like recognition and power and losing humanity. It's not the word, but you get it, right?
Yeah. Losing your morals.
Yeah.
So tonight you are having a dream, and it's you making let's say what's like do you have like a specific gadget that you would want to make as like your like magnum opus, like your life's work?
Yeah, it could be like some kind of healing massive tower
Okay.
to heal the woods.
So you're working on this, like in the dream, you're working on it, and you're working on it, and in the dream, since time is irrelative, it just goes on, and it's like decades, and you finish it, and it works perfectly. And when you finish it, you go back to town to show it off and use it and whatnot. And when you get there, everyone's dead, and the trees are dead, and like everything that you could have used that machine for, it's too late. And there's like a tiny starving Corvum kid that looks just like you did when you were little, and seems to have like some kind of weird plague of some kind. And it said, "Why weren't you there for us? Why didn't you help us?" It's like this very distressing dream for you. It's so distressing, in fact, that you not only don't get a long rest because it's so restless for you, this nightmare.
Okay.
Cool. My internet just tanked. I love when that happens. I'm gonna keep going anyway. The stream should bounce back. But not only did you not get a long rest, but you wake up feeling exhausted. Not mechanically, but your maximum hit points go down by 9.
Okay.
And the rest of you can very visibly, like in the morning, tell that Tim-Tam, it's like Tim-Tam didn't eat. Not only did Tim-Tam not sleep, but it looks like Tim-Tam like is worse for wear than when you guys went to bed.
Oh, Tim-Tam, are you doing all right?
Not really. I didn't get. I'm fine.
You need some coffee.
Yeah. Coffee? What's that?
We don't have coffee in this universe? I don't want to be in this universe without coffee.
I would
I
say it's
mean-
a rare exotic thing that you'll be able to get on the coastal city on the south part of the wood. Saltport, I think is what it's called.
Oh my god.
What does that coffee you say do?
It gives you energy, peps you up. Makes life worth living.
Sounds amazing. I have to try it.
Especially when you add a little sugar, a little milk. Cafe de leche, maybe.
Like, Tim-Tam, you know, like how sometimes, in real life, like let's say you take a nap or something, right? And then you wake up and you feel like even groggier than you did when you went to sleep.
Yeah.
It's like that.
Okay.
Soltar's Port, that's what it's called. There it is, Humblewood.
Oh,
That's the main
very cool.
port town of Humblewood. But yeah, you doubt there's any coffee here. This is like the opposite side of the wood. That's like the south, and you guys are northeast, or
Oh,
somewhere up there when you last checked.
I'll be fine. We should get moving. Probably it's dangerous in here.
Alright.
All right, so Rena said we needed to head west.
Yes.
We should head west.
All right. So you all pack up your things. She does not have a weapon. Because if you remember, it was confiscated. And don't know where it's at now. Before we leave town, perhaps we should get a weapon first.
Alright, whatever you want to do.
I have training with the blade, and I don't want to. I'm not going to be a damsel in distress. When you get into trouble, I want to help.
Right on. Okay.
So the innkeeper, Erwin, the Corvum that runs the place. You're not sure if he ever sleeps. He says, "Oh, you can go to the stockyard. They sell items there. Probably could get yourself something." It's like, thank you. Mind if we stop there real quick?
Yeah, no problem.
Sure.
Alright, so you head there, and you notice that the, surprisingly, no one attacks you or anything, no guards, attack you guys. In fact, it seems like most of the streets, clear out when you guys show up.
So did the fire take to the manor, or did they put it out?
You're not sure, you're not going through that part of town. Did you want to take a detour and see?
No, I didn't know if I could smell fire around us, or...
No, you don't smell any. Well, at least you smell like from chimneys, but not any like burning building level fire. So you head there, and there's a little building in this large stockyard. There's several locked sheds along its perimeter as well, and the wooden sign above the front gate reads Arasek Court or Stockyard. Parked on the south end of the stockyard is a sturdy carnival wagon. Its colorful paint is peeling off, the lettering on its side spells out Rictavio's Carnival of Wonders. A heavy padlock secures the back door on it.
A carnival.
Yeah, like there's a picture of the wagon.
Oh, we have to go
Oh.
see the carnival.
Okay, yeah.
Right, you head up to the wagon, and as you do, the wagon suddenly lurches as though something big has thrown itself against the inside of the wall. You hear cracking of wood, scraping of metal, and a snarl of something inhuman. Some like, and then some like growling, because I can't do that. Already up through my throat. Upon closer inspection, you see that the sides of the wagon are spattered with dry blood. You also see an inscription on the wagon's doorframe that reads, "I bring you from shadow into light." Both shadow and light are capitalized in bird scratch, bird folk. You haven't even touched the wagon. It was just you got within like 10 feet of it.
Oh, no.
It sounds great. Let's go.
I would
Mm,
be at least careful.
Of course, we'll be careful, but Shadow into Light is kind of like my patron's thing. So
What
let's go.
What about the shadow part?
Oh, just bring a shadow into light. I mean, that's a good thing.
do you
No,
want to
you
address
shine
the
light in the
blood on the
shadows.
side?
Sure, it's nothing.
It can be a medicine check on the blood, you guys want, or investigation, one or the other.
I'll do it. It looks great. It's fun.
Uh,
5. I rolled a 2.
Concern.
You're not even sure if it's blood.
No,
Okay.
that's ketchup.
16
Or whatever.
investigation.
16. This
Yeah.
blood is pretty dry. It's been here for at least a few days.
Okay. So, I mean, the blood is pretty old, but whatever is inside, it's inside. I don't know, guys. I'm tired.
That was investigation, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so since that was investigation, you also were able to conclude that you think whatever the blood, when it got the bloodstains on it, it wasn't from. Oh, hello. Player number 4 shows up.
Sorry.
You notice that you're pretty sure the bloodstains weren't from the stockyard. Like, the bloodstains were elsewhere, and then the wagon was moved. The bloodstains just weren't cleaned off.
Okay.
Hello, welcome, Nyhm, to Kren's Valley.
I'm so sorry. I did not mean to.
It's okay.
What you missed out on is everybody went to take a long rest. Tim-Tam had a really weird nightmare. And by really weird, I mean not only did Tim-Tam not get a long rest, but also had a reduction to maximum hit points.
Yay.
Yeah. And then they were going to go leave town when Irina was like, well, my sword got confiscated by the guard. So I should probably get a weapon before we leave here. Because it's very dangerous out there, and I'm not just damsel in distress. I can help you if danger happens. Which is more likely than not in these lands. So they headed to the stockyard, which you guys saw briefly on your way in to town. And there, found this wagon that apparently belonged to Rictavio. Carnival wagon. And they're investigating it now. There's something inside that gave like a really deep, menacing growl. The whole thing shook. There are blood stains on the side of it. And you probably heard the rest of Tim-Tam's investigation.
Thank you for catching me up.
Yeah, no problem. So, Hemlock,
Mhm.
what are you doing? As in, like, with the wagon? Because it's the wagon by itself. The back door is locked. You actually probably notice that there is a hatch on the top of the wagon as well.
Should we knock?
But carefully, please.
Okay. We did. Let me.
I'm going to be on guard.
Where do you knock? Do you knock on the door in the back?
The door, yeah.
Okay. The wagon, once again, shakes very violently, and when you knock on the door, something slams itself against the door, and you hear is growling. The door itself dents outwards towards you.
There wasn't a little sign on the back that said "Dead inside, do not open," was there?
No.
Okay.
But Hemlock, you were close enough that some of the wood splinters, and in the gap of the door, you do see like a claw of some kind, like for just a brief moment. It's big claw.
Something is getting trapped in there. I think we need to let it out.
And you hear some weird purring in there. Some kind of like deep rumbling purr. You still standing next to the wagon?
Maybe take.
If you didn't hear me, I'm in a guard position right now.
I'll assume you're taking a dodge action, if that is needed. Meaning you'll have advantage on dex saves and such.
I'm going to say that I have speak with animals like constantly being cast. So I'm going to see if that works. I say, "Hello."
It says.
Do you need help in there?
It says. You don't smell like food.
Well, I'm not. Well, that's good that it don't smell like food because I'm not. Are you trapped? Do you need help?
Yeah, it's pretty cramped in here. I've been stuck in here for days.
Can I chime in?
Yeah, anytime. Hemlock's just making like animal noises.
What
Yeah.
kind of noise is it? Barks? Or...
That's actually a great question. You hear like feline noises. So like
okay.
But like big cat noises.
So Nym's gonna jump up to the top of this thing.
Alright. The second you do, Hemlock, you hear like food time. The second Nyhm hops onto the top of it.
Nyhm, I don't think that's such a good idea.
Nyhm, there's a hatch on the top that is not locked when you hop up there. It's fairly small, like even for your size, it would be a tight squeeze if you hopped in.
That wasn't my first.
I know you're not going to, but I'm just, just for a scale size.
Okay, no, that makes sense.
A little sneak and peek.
Yeah, I was planning on taking a peek through the hatch.
You open up the hatch, and as you open up the hatch, the whole wagon lurches as whatever's inside like jumps upwards towards the latch. You just see large teeth appear like right at the door, and a giant feline paw like reaches up and is reaching for you. and I will need a dexterity saving throw for Nyhm.
Oh shit, that's a great way to wake up. 1 second.
Best part of waking up is rolling in that one.
Don't jinx me like that. Jesus Christ. No, that's a 21.
Okay, you are able to keep yourself upright on the wagon, even though it lurches so violently. And it's like, and Hemlock, you hear like, "Give me food. You usually give me food right now." Wait, you don't smell like him.
I am friend, not food.
Hemlock, can
And
you ask your friend how long has been inside trap? Because this thing seems to have been here for some time.
How long have you been inside, friend?
Hard to tell. I haven't seen daylight or moonlight in ages. Also, I'm a big cat, and I don't judge time very well. Sometime, I guess.
Cats sleep all the time, so.
It's
Is your name lasagna?
ate 3 hours ago.
Are there any food vendors around?
This is a stockyard, but there's
It's
not
stocked.
any vendors here. It's just a bunch of what word do they use?
Like a small goat we can throw in or
Sheds.
something.
There's a bunch of sheds around here that are locked.
I can take a peek around the sheds if I need to. But I don't suggest we open this thing.
Unless we want a new cat skin rug.
Or
What's your name, friend?
I don't have a name.
Oh, well, I'll give you a
What
name.
what is a name? Is that food? Because if so,
No,
I don't
it's
have
like-
it.
Oh. It's like what people give you. They want to call you something. The guy who normally feeds you didn't call you anything.
Sometimes call me Big Cat.
Oh. Okay. Okay, Big.
so I'm thinking either Big the Cat or Aaron from Game Grumps. I'm not really sure which one just yet.
Or BC.
Brain went Big the Cat because I'm Sonic trash. Anyway,
Hey, I went there too. There's nothing wrong with that.
I'm not gonna lie, I was half tempted to go like, "Hi, I'm friend." But no, I'm not going.
Well, I just think that's so cruel that you are being kept up like this. I think that we should march down to what's his name, Octavio, and tell him that he is being a butt and that he needs to let you out right away. What do you think? And I turned to my friends.
How did you? I mean, in what language did you say that? In Big Cat or in Common? Birdsfolk?
Big Cat.
I said it in common. I said it in common.
Everything, or just the what do you think, my friend?
Oh, everything that I said. That's it.
Okay. Why don't we instead get some food for a friend and light it out and screw that Rictavio guy?
We could feed it, Rectavio.
No. Enough killing people, please.
You don't smell like food. I won't eat.
You promise?
No, this won't end well.
Give me
So-
animal handling Hemlock with advantage because you're talking with it. Because you're talking with Big Cat.
I need to get different dice. That's still a 17.
Promise.
Okay. All right. Here's the deal. We're gonna get them food, and then we're going to let them out. They promise they're not gonna eat us.
Please hurry.
Okay.
I'm hungry.
So yeah, I guess I'll start checking the sheds around for whatever type of food may have been fed for it.
Are none of the other
all the
vendors open
sheds,
yet?
all the sheds are locked, and it is fairly early in the morning. But places are opening up, like stalls.
Okay.
However, the part that you missed is on their way to the stockyard. Not only did the guards not attack anybody, but most of the townsfolk seem to stay away from your group as much as possible.
Well,
Some
I've got-
like sorry, go ahead.
No. You're fine. You're describing the area.
Like windows, shutters getting closed when you guys go by, that kind of stuff. That's all I was gonna say.
Lovely. I've got thieves' tools. I'd still like to check the sheds if I could.
All right, give me sleight of hand checks.
At advantage.
Nope, with proficiency.
Oh, well, that works perfectly then.
I
Also,
mean, Saxton, you're a big, strong owl. Can you hunt something for a friend? Real quick?
do what for him?
A rat or
many-
something?
How many rolls you want, Scotty?
What did you get on the first one?
First one got a 19.
All right. I'm gonna say coincidentally in the first one, you find a bunch of dried meat of unknown origin, but it is dried meat, salted meat.
Okay. Wave Saxton over. Found a large chunk of meat.
I'll get some for the cat, and I'll also put some in my bag as well.
How many pounds?
For the cat or for me?
Yes, for both actually.
How many pounds are there?
You're thinking a few hundred. It's a shed filled with meat.
I'll load my pack with rations.
wanna load it down to
one
that.
pound of this would be enough food for a day for you.
I get at least 10 pounds for myself and maybe 20 for the cat.
Okay. You can give me a survival check if you want to identify what this meat is.
Me or him?
Anyone. Anyone that's curious.
Nyhm learned long ago not to question some things.
I got 18.
It is wolf meat.
Ooh.
The choice picks that you were taking, you're pretty sure, are from wolves not as big as the dire wolves. It's not dire wolf size.
So just like, is it
But-
dried meat or more like jerky?
It's dried meat. But for the amount that's here, someone's been doing a lot of wolf hunting.
Oh.
And you all have been warned about how aggressive the wolves are around here. So it might be more of equivalent of like pest control in a way.
Yeah, because predator animals don't taste very good, but
Mhm.
hey,
So I've got-
whatever serves a big cat.
So I had 10 days rations to my pack, and I take 20 pounds to the cat.
All right. As you are doing that, and you guys get back to the wagon, Rictavio is walking towards the stockyard, and in his hands, he has something wrapped up in I think cloth. And he sees you all near his wagon, and he has a look of concern on his face, and he like fast walks, or like gets into a slight jog over to you guys. He's like, I would stay away from that if I were you.
Why? You're so mean keeping this poor creature locked up in here. What else are we supposed to do?
He is dangerous to have loose in the city. I am but a traveler after all, trying to find our way to the next carnival. Leaving this area, this valley, seems difficult. I wouldn't want to cause a ruckus in the city, in this town, if I don't have to.
I suppose you're right, but I don't think that it's very nice of you to be keeping something as, you know, as special as what you got in there, all just wrapped up. I don't.
His look, compared to how he was at the tavern, is completely different now as he looks at Hemlock. He has this walking cane, and he is holding it with both hands like this. And as he's looking at Hemlock, it's like a very stern, serious face, which you haven't seen from him before. It's like a completely different person. And he says, I suggest you leave before you get hurt.
Oh, wow.
Can we identify what he's holding?
A cane and perception check. Sorry. I was slow on that one.
Just wondering. Perception. Perception. Ooh, 15.
You can see that it appears to be... Oh, it's in a handkerchief. That's what it's in. Appears to be some kind of cooked meat in a handkerchief.
It's a tiny amount for what he's about to assumedly feed to the big cat.
I guess it's a big handkerchief.
So
It's like 5 pounds worth of meat or something. No, actually, nah. It's like a steak's worth of meat. So I guess not that much.
What were you gonna say, Youth?
No, I mean, I was just gonna say to the Octavio that so you're having trouble to leave the city?
A little bit. And he heads over towards the wagon. Nyhm, are you still on top of the wagon?
Oh yeah.
Or no, you're not. You were.
Jump down for the
Yeah.
shed.
He
Yeah.
climbs up to the top of the wagon, and he opens the hatch, and he loosens the handkerchief. He keeps the handkerchief, but you see the meat fall in, and Hemlock, you hear from Big Cat, like, yes, breakfast. He says, he's a very dangerous animal, and you all seem like very nice people. I don't want you to get hurt.
What kind of animal is he?
Well, as he hops down from the wagon, doesn't do it in a one bound. He's definitely a older fellow, so it takes him a bit. And even then, when he gets down, he's like does like the old guy grunt noise. You know, every time they go to get up or sit down, it's like ugh. And he says, "Well, I found him over near the Scorched Valley when he was just a little one, and I've been training him to do some tricks. And if I hadn't saved him, he probably would have been burned by some ember bats." Which all of you would know in character. In Humblewood, there's like a good section of the wood that's been burned down by like a forest fire. But this forest fire isn't just a normal forest fire. Of course, it's not. It seems to be almost like its own entity in a way. And new creatures come out of these fires, including these little ember bats, which are these cute little actual bat-sized creatures. And out of their little nostrils, they breathe fire. They're very adorable looking, but they can be very dangerous. Let me get their picture. You all have definitely at least heard of those. They're like the most common thing.
Oh.
Yeah, isn't it adorable?
It looks like it would explode.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, they don't. But yeah. Nyhm would probably know about them pretty well as well. So he says, that should hold him off for at least until this afternoon.
It's just so sad that it cannot like run a little bit at least each day. Stretch
Yes.
the leg, you know.
Well, someday soon I'll be letting it get some stretching. Let it stretch its legs.
I mean, I don't know if the others are okay, but we will soon leave the city towards another city. I forgot the name of because I'm very tired. But you can join us.
Hopefully you're not heading to the city in the south. I heard that one has been overrun. Well, not overrun, it's been abandoned.
We will look at the others. Is where we're going?
Irina says, Father Donovich said it was to the west.
Oh.
And then, Tavio replies, you're heading to Krezik then.
Well, we luck out and we're not heading south, so there's that much.
Well,
I mean, if you want to come, there's room for you. It's always safer if we go in bigger group.
oh, no. I would rather not travel unless I have to. And I earn a good keep here, and I am, attempting to find out more about these lands before I travel further. I thank you, though. As he tips his hat. His wide-brimmed, Durlaxle-like hat. And I think about it. And he says, well, I think we should head back to the inn. Go on a bit more chit-chat. It's kind of chilly out here. And Irina says, "Oh, actually, we were here to get a weapon, and for my travels. You see, I had mine taken by Isaac." And he says, "Oh, well." Looks over at this short sword he has, and he says, "I used to be pretty good with the blade myself, but I don't think I'll be needing it much in town. And it's not my only weapon I have. I'd be willing to part with it for however much the short sword costs in the player's handbook." For 10 gold.
I'll haggle him down, or try to haggle him for 5 if he's not going to be using it.
Oh, I'm already offering you a pretty fair price for these lands. It's hard. Not many goods come in.
True, but who else are you going to sell it to?
No one, and I can keep it for myself. I was offering it as a way of being nice. But if you don't need it and you'd like to buy one from the store, that's fine.
Out of character, anybody feels like coughing up the 10 gold for it?
Irina's looking at the rest of you because she literally has nothing right now besides the clothes on her back.
Yeah, I can pay for that.
But do you want to?
Yeah, I don't care.
Okay.
Gold.
Uh,
I can.
Yes?
Huh?
You were going to say something?
Said I'll chip in 2 gold.
Okay. I'll put the rest.
Nah, I'll split the rest with you. I'll toss in 4.
Okay.
Okay. You go to hand him the gold, and he goes to hand you all the sword. And as he does, he goes over to Hemlock, and he says, "Here, this will be a bonus." And he goes to hand you a little straw effigy. It looks like a tiny little bird person made of straw. It's been wrapped around. It's almost like a little straw doll.
Oh.
It's for good luck on your travels. Gives you a smile,
Oh.
and he says, "I hope to have more chats with you, Tim-Tam."
It will be a pleasure. Maybe one day I've had coffee. You say it's called Saxton?
Wait a
Yes.
minute. Give me just a moment. And he goes to the wagon, and as he goes to open he gets out a key ring, and he's like looking through the keys. Like, this is the one. All right. No, stand back. No, a little further. About 30 feet. And he goes to open the door, and you notice he does it, but he like conceals himself so you don't see him turning the lock. And as he does, you hear him make like a shh. It's okay, big cat. It's okay. And he goes into the wagon, and Hemlock, you hear like just barely because he had you guys go far away, and it's inside the wagon, just like, that wasn't that much food. Can I have more? Those people are nice. You know? And he comes out with a little pouch, and he closes the wagon, and he tosses it to Saxton.
Grab it and open it up.
Inside are coffee beans. Dried coffee beans.
Unground.
Unground.
Okay.
And he says, I knew I had some stored somewhere. I think you'll have more use of it than me.
Why were they with the cat?
I think all I store in there is it's my wagon.
All I could think of is that weird island coffee that's made.
Yeah.
Oh,
Sorry. Go ahead and finish, Mav. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Yeah, I'll end it there.
It's like this much. It's a pretty decent amount.
okay.
He heads back to the inn. And Irina's like, what an odd but friendly fellow. Well, maybe friendly is not the right word. But hospitable.
I look at my my straw doll and I'm like, oh, maybe I misjudged him.
You notice that there's a little I keep forgetting what you call that. Dow feathers, the smaller, fluffier feathers that go underneath. Yeah, down feather. There's like 2 or 3 of them stuffed in the middle of it, and they're like wrapped up in it with string.
I'm sorry. I did not mean to interrupt you, Scotty.
Konnichiwa, Phoenix, and you are fine. So,
I do like an investigation check if this is like a
Give me a
voodoo
history
doll
check.
or something. Okay.
or wait, no, you got a few choices here. You can either give me a history check or an arcana check.
Mm. I'll do Arcana. Wait, let me make sure. Yeah, I'll do Arcana. Ooh,
Hemlock. I see you.
21.
Oh, no, never mind.
This little effigy, you realize is a tiny effigy of Rhea, and Rhea is a very chaotic deity. He's like the raptor deity, and he is known for his dogma of seek out unknown horizons. Your skills can take you anywhere if properly harnessed. And you're thinking that this is giving off a very faint amount of magic, that this might be a tiny little charm or something of that equivalence.
Mm,
Whatever it is, it's very minor.
okay. And I don't think it's like evil or anything. It's just a
No.
charm. Okay.
But at least not this one. But yeah. It
Okay.
doesn't seem to give off that kind of aura to it.
So are we doing anything with the cat?
Man, I don't think we can do much for. I mean, we could set it free, but it would be pretty irresponsible.
Is Rictavio out of sight?
Give me a perception check. He went off towards the inn.
17.
You don't see any sign of him. It looks like he just kept going.
Hey, Nyhm, you want to hop back up on top near that hatch
Why?
to drop this meat down into it for it?
Hemlock, you hear Big Cat talk to himself in the wagon. He's like, "Yeah, time to take a nap. Another nap."
So I lips move him, but didn't hear anything.
Yeah.
First, you just hear like a noise from the wagon, like a weird yawn.
If not, I'm going to put this extra meat to use then.
I mean, we can throw the meat, and you can like peek and tell me if it's a lion or a tiger, because I'm very curious.
Yeah, no, I'm not jumping back up there.
I'll do it. And it's sleeping, so it's like docile. It's not a big
Okay.
deal. I'll just jump up there.
Take a good peek and tell me. Maybe it's a cheetah. I don't know.
Hemlock, you climb up onto the top of the wagon,
Mhm.
and you open up the tiny hatch. And inside, you see, very cramped but curled up in there, is a what are they called? I think they literally just call it mountain lion. I got a picture for you. However, it is wearing armor, custom made for it. It has
I wanna
very
steal the cat.
It has very large canines, and the helmet seems to have 2 blades on each side that seem to go with the canines.
So like saber teeth.
Yes. get
Guys,
the
I
picture.
want to steal the cat.
You can give me a nature check now that you've seen what this cat looks like. It also has horns.
Get it.
You don't see the rock bumps on it because it's wearing armor. And it is not a normal cat, to say the least.
22 for nature.
Mountain lions are native to the Crest Mountains, and they are more than mere beasts that travelers may mistake them for. They're covered in rocky protrusions on their shoulders and arms that you can't see because of the armor. And they have a special power where they can cause an avalanche, but they have to be in a mountainous area for that to work. So it wouldn't be able to do that here. But if it was in its natural environment, it could. And most of it is pretty much like a saber-toothed tiger in terms of stats. You know, big cat likes to run and pounce on things.
Yeah. I want to steal the cat.
It has a tie to the elemental earths of the world, which allows it to have that magical ability. They love hunting wolves.
Hemlock, what do your Mapach eyes see up there?
Friend. Sorry.
That doesn't narrow it down by a lot. Alright.
Guys, I want to steal the cat.
Hemlock, you're like kind of the good one.
How
Just
strong is
saying.
this lock/wooden door on it?
You drop the meat down there, and it like wakes up by smell because it smells it, and it like turns around because it's like curled up, and you like kind of just landed on it and just and it starts eating it. And as it eats the food, Hemlock, you see like a tiny little keyhole like appear on it.
Oh. Why are you making me do this?
We're not.
Making you do what? I'm not doing anything.
No, this is completely me. That was to myself. Why are you making me do this?
Oh, I was supposed to say you're showing a connection with Big Cat, so that's why.
Yeah, I
It's
know.
Hemlock to Callie. Why are you making me do this?
Exactly. I lean over and I say, "Hello."
Lifts his head
Yes.
up. Lifts his head up, and he's like, "Hello."
If I let you out of here, just hypothetically, would you just be really nice and like come with us and like be a friend and help us out with a bunch of stuff? And because in my mind, that's what I want to happen. But I know that animals are unpredictable creatures.
Let me double check its mental stats. It says, hypothetically, yeah, sure. I mean, if I'm allowed to get food and not be stuck in here all day, yeah, sure. I'm down with that.
All right, give me a second. And I close the hatch and I lean over to my friends and I'm like, I think we're gonna take
Has
the
it been a
cat.
second yet? How long's a second?
Hemlock,
Hello?
do you realize that
Okay.
if we walk with this into another city's gate, there will be a lot of questions and probably they won't let us in? I mean, I wouldn't let us in.
Mm.
I know, but dear friend, I forgot something. Tavio,
Rictavio.
Rictavio,
I can't wait to go hunting again.
it's
I haven't
taking
stretched
good
my
care
legs in so long.
of the kitty, big cat. So Are you? Don't bow at me.
Hemlock,
mean,
what's your bonus
can-
to persuasion?
No.
4.
Okay, I'm not gonna have you guys roll against each other. It's just like to show how persuasive Hemlock is passively.
Lower lip clip quivers.
Mhm.
Can you assure we will be able to maintain this creature, this animal? Because if you say you can take care of it, we will take it. Because I just remembered again that I'm very low on wisdom.
Tim-Tam can take care of it.
I mean, if you say that you're sure that it won't cost trouble to get in the cities or that you can feed it every day, because I'm pretty sure that thing eats a lot. I don't know, I haven't seen it, but if you assure me you can take care of the animal, you can take it with you. I'm not your dad, so you can do whatever you want. But
Nyhm doesn't say anything, but every single one of you can see a bubble form above her head that just says, "This won't end well." Curious to see what happens. Not going to intercede either way.
Yeah, it won't end well. It'll end great.
What are you doing up there?
I
They would've
want to
had
let
it.
the cat out. So we're going to let the cat out no matter what.
okay,
uh,
I tried my hardest, and I will walk a little bit away just in case.
I hate this.
How do you let the cat out? The only door
Only
big
we-
enough to get it out is the back door.
If only we had a thief that could pick locks.
And there's a lock built into the door.
Our thief is a tiny mouse.
I'm not tiny.
I mean, compared to a really big cat.
Yeah, this thing's
Yeah,
large
okay.
size.
How
Just so you
damaged
guys
is the
know.
door from when it impacted earlier?
Slightly dented. Not enough that that you could rip it off. Well, I mean, you could still try. I'm just it's not like it's all the hinges are still there and everything.
Hemlock,
Yeah.
if you promise not to pester me with that puppet anymore,
No,
I will unlock the door.
never agree to that. It's a trap. We need the puppet.
Oh, no, Admiral.
We need it. Irina, what do you think?
Yeah,
Oh.
Irina, please.
Oh, inside Hemlock, since you looked in there and you got a good peek, you do see what remains of what appears to be like a doll. Like the straw stuffing was like everywhere in there, and like the rags of the doll was ragdolled everywhere.
Didn't
Pun
look like a
intended.
Jerbeen doll, did it?
It did not.
So yeah, I never said you don't have to no longer deal with the puppet. I just said no longer pester Nyhm with
Okay.
the puppet.
What if I were to jump in there and unlock the door? Does that seem like...
Red neon side. Bad idea. Bad idea. Bad idea.
Give me an
We're
insight
gonna
check,
take the cat
Hemlock.
with us. Oh my gosh, this dice. 22.
You're thinking the door will still be locked from the inside.
Oh, damn.
Well, at the point where you stated earlier, Nyhm would even have a hard time shimmying down that hatch. All we need is half a Mapach to be wedged in there.
You would rather pester the piss out
Should
of
we leave
me
the cat
with a
then?
puppet than
No.
help the cat get out by using my thieves' tools.
I thought you said the lock was built into the door so you couldn't do it.
No, it's built into the door, but there was clearly like a keyhole for.
Oh, okay. All right. I was thinking you couldn't do it, so Okay.
So you promise you will no longer pester me with that puppet or
Well,
any others.
I don't think that I have pestered you with the puppet to begin with.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you have. So it's a promise.
I don't even know what the word means.
I put my pinky out. It's a pinky promise.
Oh, your tiny little raccoon, Pinky.
My pinky.
Right. Okay. I will use my thieves' tools to attempt to unlock the door.
All right, sleight of hand.
I hope this ends well.
It's Curse of Strahd. It's not going to.
The 19 total.
All right, you easily pick the lock on here, and the second you go to open the door, coming out of the keyhole, a tiny little dart goes right at you. Does a 10 hit you?
Negative. Not even close.
But the door is unlocked.
Inspect the dart.
Yeah, it flew off into the dirt somewhere.
Okay.
And as you open the door, as the door starts to open a little bit, Big Cat pushes it open a little bit with his paw and keeps it open.
Can
And
I
then he
interrupt
goes
real
to
quick?
casually walk out. And as he walks out, this large-sized mountain lion wearing half-plate armor, custom made for it,
Such a bad idea.
comes out. And you notice that its claws also, the gauntlet parts of the claws also have little blades on it. And it gets out, it does a big cat stretch, and it yawns.
It's like a medieval Zoid.
I was thinking kind of like He-Man's cat, but not as
Just send a
derpy looking
picture on
armor.
Discord. I mean,
Nym's
the
gonna
remake, it's pretty badass.
That's nice to hear. Nym's going to jump up to the top of the wow brain. Seriously, thank you for failing on a single word. Cart. Nym's going to jump up to the top of the cart, out of the way of this thing.
All right,
What is it compared to me?
you hop up, and the cat immediately follows your tail as you go up there, but it doesn't go after you. Just instinctually, like cats with strings, catches their attention, and Big Cat starts on.
I'll hold
And-
out more of the meat.
And looks like it was going to head over towards the shack that you guys unlocked with stuff, but then sees you with the food, and it's like, oh sweet, man, I haven't had this much food in forever. Saxton, give me an animal handling check.
They're good at those.
You better be.
I got an 18.
Okay, you're able to show that you're very not a threatening presence to the cat, and you're able to not only get up close enough to the cat to pet it, but you also are able to give it the food without it accidentally biting your hand in the process.
Pet the kitty.
And yep, and he eats the food and he starts purring.
I will give
Some
the
random-
tiger scritches.
Some random townsfolk lady is walking by. We'll say she's like a Mapach, and she sees the tiger and she screams and she drops her basket that she had with bread in it and runs off. And she's like, oh, whoa, and she just runs down the street.
Oh
Did she-
yeah! Oh my god, the
Did she just turn
drama.
into a female Hank Hill?
Yep,
Ooh.
that's pretty much what I was imagining. No chin, so yeah.
There's a fog full of giant wolves outside the
Direwolf.
city, and a tiger freaks her out.
To be fair, the tiger is inside the city.
You also know this tiger is bigger than a normal wolf.
What's
Well,
the size comparison to me?
Bigger than you.
Ooh.
It's big enough that you could ride it if it had a seat, but this armor is definitely not built for someone to ride on top of it.
I go up and I pet the kitty.
Okay.
And I say, oh, well, we let you out. So are you okay with following us?
Oh, behind the horn. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay, thanks.
So while this is going on, I'm gonna go grab a few more, pounds of meat to take with us.
And just so it's going to be said, Nyhm will stay more than 10 feet away at any given time.
Give me a perception check, Nyhm, since you were on top of the wagon.
I can do that. 21.
You see a lot of things. First off, you see that the torn up remains of the doll that's inside the wagon appears to be colorfully dressed like a Vistani, and that it seems to be the same kind of effigy that Hemlock has, except it's like a little goat person. And it seems to have some goat. There's little bits of goat, like tufts of goat fur in there. And the second thing you notice is that the front seat of the wagon, normally like a driver's seat, since you're up on top, it appears to be a secret compartment of some kind.
I will check for traps before I try to lockpick this one.
All right, investigation.
18. Yeah.
No traps, no lock.
No lock on a secret compartment?
No, because it's you like barely see the groove on it. You'd have to like wedge it in the right spot and open it.
Okay. Well, I will try to do exactly that.
All right, you open it, and there's a lot of things in this compartment. You see a wooden coffer, a small book, a healer's kit, 3 wooden holy symbols inlaid with silver, and they're all in the shape of a sunburst, a silvered short sword, a hand crossbow inlaid with a mother of pearl, a bundle of crossbow bolts, a worn leather case with a bunch of stuff in it. You're not sure what, just from looking at it.
Okay.
As you're exploring that, Big Cat wanders off towards the street.
No.
What do you do?
I Give me a minute.
Panic. The word is panic. You are panicking.
And he starts sniffing around, and he like sniffs off towards the west, and he starts heading that way.
I cast suggestion. I say, hello, Big Cat. I think that you should follow us and sail. Well, that's right, not get in trouble. You get in trouble if you go that way. And we can feed you, and we can pet you, and we give you belly rubs, and we'll be your friends, and we won't treat you like that mean old Ricardo did.
Rictavio?
Yeah, whatever his name is.
Let's call him Rick Toffin for old time's sake.
All right. Big Cat needs a wisdom save. Nat 20. I'm sorry.
Do I see him heading away at this point?
Say where the road.
Cat, come here.
I'm assuming you're trying an animal handling, Mav?
You would notice this, Nyhm, after you opened up the compartment.
Okay,
Yes.
so I'm just gonna take everything and shove it in my bag.
Okay,
Because-
it'll take you at least another round or two.
That's fine. I know the direction that they're heading, and
It's
he does
a
not
lot of
run.
stuff.
Yeah.
So if I was trying to, establish dominance. What I need, animal handling or intimidation?
Animal handling. And-
17.
Hmm. You like get in front of him and you're just like, rah, or whatever, like just showing, hey, I'm the boss.
T-posing.
And he just like looks at you, his tail kind of sways back and forth. And then he just decides to just start walking around you.
I want to try something. I'll grab a stone. Is there a stone or something on the ground, or a potato?
Yeah, sure.
Anything the size of a ball. And I will make it glow red with my magical tinkering.
Okay.
And go like, and throw it rolling towards the cart, the wagon.
Give me a animal handling check.
I'm awful at that. 10.
Okay. It doesn't seem like he even noticed. And
I
he
don't know how
casually
this is
prowls towards the center of town.
Don't know how this is going to go, but I go to grab his tail.
Oh.
You grab his tail, which is not armored, but you can see rocky protrusions coming out of the tail as you grab it. And as you go to grab it, are you actually going to like fully try to hold on, like to prevent from moving? Or is it just to say, hey, I'm here, I'm touching your tail?
Hey, I'm here, listen to me, but not, wow, try to yank it off.
Okay. It stops and looks back at you, and it like pulls your hand off of its tail. The tail flicks violently. And Hemlock, you hear Big Cat say, "Rude,"
Well,
and then keeps
you're not
and then
really
keeps walking.
listening to us. Hey, Big Cat.
Yeah. What?
We let you out.
Yeah, there's food over here. Come on.
No, you gotta come with us. We got food over here.
Well, yeah, but I was told this stuff's really tasty.
Okay. Are you talking about people? You can't eat people.
What do you mean by people?
I mean by
What's a people?
Like me.
And that actually
Yeah.
stops Big Cat. Big Cat does like turn around and continues to making weird big cat noises to Hemlock.
I wanted to be your friend. That's why I let you out, and I thought, that you would come along with us, and we would feed you and give you pets and give you belly rubs, and
There it is! There it is, guards! And then
Okay.
you see the same lady from before, and she
Oh,
has
no.
2 town guards with her with pikes.
Oh,
And they go,
you gotta come
"Holy
with me."
guacamole, that's a big cat!"
Oh, no.
I think
Stay
it's time we
stay
leave.
away from it. We'll get it out of town. And they're like using their pikes. And Big Cat
Okay,
turns
we
around and
gotta
he's
go.
like,
No.
no. Grr." And he backs away, and he is like backing away from them, and they're just like using the pikes to like push him towards the east gate, which is the closest one, the one you guys originally came in from.
Okay, to be fair, we could escape. We could go through the east gate and just circle around the wall of the city and head west like we were planning to begin with. And that's the way this cat seems to be wanting to go to begin with. If somebody can convince him to head out the freaking east gate, we can get a head start on this trip.
He doesn't give away too much ground, and when one of them kind of like tries to prod with the pike, he does like 2 swipes, and he growls at them. He's like, "Hey, watch it!
I'll step in front of them.
You can't have my food. I want it." You hear him say to the guards, but everyone else just hears like a lion roar, pretty much.
I'll step in front of him. I say, he's my pet. It's fine. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have let him off his leash. If you would let me see what spell. uh, how many Tarong people are there? 3?
There's this lady and 2 guards.
Okay. So I cast Charm Person at 3rd level, so I can get all 3 of them.
What is that? Wisdom saves?
Yes.
What's the save?
15.
Okay. The lady got a 14. 1 guard got a 6. Another guard got a 3.
Yeah. Okay. He's my pet. We're going to leave now. We were gonna leave anyway, but thank you. If you would like to show us out, that would be so great. Thank you for your service.
Oh wow. Wow. You must be quite the animal tamer. Wow. I have one of these. Well, yeah. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, ma'am, but it is a little too dangerous. Yeah, we'll help escort you out. It's fine.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
And she's like, oh, and the lady's like, oh, I'm so sorry for the misunderstanding. It's just your cat's so scary.
Oh, it's fine. We get that a lot. It's so great. It's so nice of you to be so concerned.
Oh, the husband's never gonna believe. The husband's never gonna believe this. And she like turns around and goes off to the rest of her day. Like this isn't a big deal.
And I turn to Big Cat and I say, "Be good." And
he tilts his head, tail flicks.
And I take him by like the scruff of his neck, and I kind of like start leading him out, if that's okay with him.
Give me an animal handling, but with charisma.
Okay.
So pretty much, if you're proficient with animal handling, it's a proficient charisma check.
Okay.
Otherwise, it's just a charisma check.
Dirty 20.
Okay. He's like, huh? But food's over there. No, okay, all right. And you pull him along.
Come on, friends. Let's go.
Let's get while the getting's good.
I will put in my bag the bottle of grease I was about to throw.
I'm assuming by this point I've had enough time to shove all that stuff into my own bags.
Mm-hmm. At this point, Hemlock, when you went to grab him to like pull him forward, you realize that a section of his armor is like a slide lever handle on it, and when you pull it backwards, it reveals a saddle.
Okay, this was a good idea. I was really nervous at first, but this was a good idea. Anyway,
wait, what did you do? Can I?
You hear like the of like the metal collapsing, like folding in on itself, and there's a leather seat for like a medium-sized creature.
Oh, that's impressive. I'm jealous now.
Well, I'm leading him, so one of you could get on.
No, I mean, I'm not jealous. I don't want to ride it. I'm jealous of the person who invented this.
Oh.
I'll jump to the saddle.
Tim-Tam, give me like a proficient intelligence check. You're proficient with blacksmithing tools and such, right?
I'm smithing tools, thieves tools, tinker tools, woodcarver tools, cooking utensils. So
proficient intelligence check.
Okay.
Actually, I take back what I said. I'll let Mav say what he was going to say.
I was going to say the same thing.
I know.
14.
What were you guys going to say?
I was going to hop on the saddle.
And I kind of beat him to it, except then I realized, I remember I specifically said I'm staying at least 10 feet away from it at all times. So I'm letting Saxton get on there. And what'd you roll, Lluis?
14.
This is definitely custom designed armor. It is very well made. You're pretty sure it's something that you wouldn't be able to create, at least right away. This is like a masterpiece in its own way, just because of it's so exotic. So Saxton, you go to hop up on Big Cat's back, and Big Cat is like, "Oh, wow, that one guy's heavy." And continues walking with Hemlock as a guide. And you guys are led outside the gate. And the guard's like, well,
Bye,
stay.
have a nice time.
I would say stay safe out there, but I think you got it more than handled.
Sorry,
Bye.
didn't mean to-
Bye. Thank
And
you.
both the
Bye,
guards
have a
and
wonderful
both
time.
Yeah, pretty much. And the guards
Oh my
walk
God.
back in, and the gates close behind you, well, behind your group. Irina's like,
Holy crap.
and Irina is just like been standing in the back with you guys, just like awkwardly, like for this like whole situation.
So that happened.
Oh, my spell slots.
I'm kind of standing next to Irina going, yeah, no, I can't believe this shit happened either.
I'm not sure how I feel about this.
This
I
is just a normal
instigated.
Wednesday
What do you
night.
think I feel?
Are we gonna go get? Are we going to get food?
We are heading in the direction of food, yes.
Oh, you can
Oh.
talk to me. Hi.
Now, shit. Can I talk to him, or is this like?
No, he's talking to Hemlock,
But it's a cat. It's safe to assume
and
it wants food.
and,
No,
and,
it
and a lot
probably
of
wants back
and
into
a,
the city.
and a lot of cats, like their language isn't even like vocal. It's just Hemlock can like hear that mentally via the speak with animal. It's almost like telepathy.
Probably wants to go back into the city now that he's out.
The cat, so it probably wants to take a nap or eat something.
That's yeah.
Well, I mean, we were headed towards the west for the city, so I mean, I would move 10 feet at least in front of the big cat and start leading our party since I can cut our travel time in half.
Irina, well, you haven't been through this path before, right?
But it's
Oh.
irrelevant. The Jerbeen's, the bandit defector's ability. Anywhere we go, I can use the back alleys, or not back alleys. I can use the lay of the land to cut any travel time by half,
Okay.
whether I've been through the path or not.
So here's the next question then. Do you guys go around the north side of the town, or do you go around the south side of town? Either way, you guys got a fairly decent clearing of about like 500 feet before the woods start in any direction from the walls here.
What was the terrain like towards the north and south?
About the same.
So 50-50 either way. Anybody have a preference?
Let's go north.
We go south.
Perfect. I don't care.
Tim-Tam's sense of direction is questionable.
Lacking.
Direction goes with wisdom. Yes, it has a -1.
We go south.
So he was probably trying to go back to the door.
Excuse me, can you let us back in?
Sure, but
We want to leave.
Now with the
We
cat.
want to leave.
Great, the bird is acting like the cat.
Let me out. Let me out. Let me in. Let me in.
Yeah.
Zazu is his name. God damn it. I'll explain that later.
So
yeah, we go south.
you hug the wall so it's on your right side as you head south. And as you travel, it's about a mile until you reach the other side. So you guys are walking for a good half hour or so. You notice while traveling there are dirt roads and much smaller gates on the southern walls here in the city, and they seem to lead into the woods. And they seem to be like little foot trails. They're not much. You just the grass is really packed down on these paths as you reach the other side of the old Slavic road. And as you get over there, you notice a hill, and you see in this clearing, there's this small grass-covered hill has low houses built into its sides. Fog obscures the details, but you can see that these buildings feature elegantly carved woodwork and have decorative lanterns hanging off their sculpted eaves. Atop the hill, above the fog, is a ring of barrel-topped wagons, surrounded by a large tent with a column of smoke pouring out through the hole in the top. The tent is brightly lit from within. Even at this distance, you can smell the odors of wine and emanating from this area. And Big Cat is like, ooh, food. I smell food.
Cat smells food.
Yeah.
And he picks up the pace a little bit and heads towards the camp.
Now, hang on, Big Cat. I think that we should approach cautiously because they might not take to you very well at first, even though we know that you are lovely. And
Okay,
so
gotcha.
slow down.
Gotcha. And he gets into prowl mode. He's wearing heavy armor, so he has disadvantage on his stealth.
He also has an owl on top of him.
Yes, he does. He's not very... You can see he's trying to be stealthy. But I got a nat 3 and a nat 5, so it's not going to happen.
He's doing his best.
I'm immediately reminded of a Ghosts of Saltmarsh campaign where the tallest and the shortest characters both sounded like pots and pans banging down the hallways as they tried to sneak. And nobody gets the reference. Never mind.
But he tries to keep low to the ground. The metal armor making noise, though. And he seems to circle around the camp. What are the rest of you doing? I mean, Saxton's on his back, so I know what Saxton's doing.
I have my knees drug into the ground.
Okay. Give me an animal handling check.
Dirty 20.
Okay. He immediately stops. And he just lays down.
So the question is, do we want to go to this village? Or do we want to bypass it and head towards, what was the city name we were headed to?
Krezk.
Krezk.
What time is it?
I would say it's like it's after lunch for sure. Actually, no, it's much later than that. It's getting dark.
Can we? Then we probably should go and get.
Actually, no, wait, no, it's not getting dark because you guys took a long rest in the inn. So it's actually around lunchtime now. I'll say. Sorry for the confusion.
It's okay.
You notice that there seems to be a guard in front of each of these little houses along the borders of the hill. And the wagon caravan is up at the very top with the tent in the middle of the wagon caravan. And you're pretty sure they're Vistani wagons. And Big Cat seems more focused on the wagon stuff than the houses. And in front of the houses, you see blue duck anthropomorph people. And they have weapons and armor and stuff. Now, blue ducks have a very dark feather complexion, or whatever you want to call that. And in the right light, it gives off a slightly greenish sheen.
Duckbird. Shit, not muted.
Duckbird shit, yep.
What?
And they obviously see you guys, especially Big Cat. Waves back. Give me a history check.
Do I get advantage because ducks?
I rolled pretty low.
Remember, you have that extra D10 that you can use.
That's true. What was this?
History.
18. Oh, it's plus D10, not just 10. Hang on a second. I'm stupid. I'm so tired. 9.
9 total?
Yeah,
No, you add the d10 to your roll.
9 total.
Oh, wow.
You said 18 originally?
Yeah, because I thought you had a 10. So I rolled a 1. I got an 8.
Oh. Wow. Yeah, you've never
Yeah.
seen this type of bird folk before.
No. I failed you. No, I'm
But
fine.
besides these bird folk, there seems to be almost like there's like no one in this camp. Seems pretty empty. Like here's a picture of the layout from like a sky view. In the very middle's the tent, and those are all wagons orbiting around it, and then those are the 6 buildings, and in front of each of the 6 buildings are one of these duck characters.
Hello, friends.
Wait, how close are we to him?
You haven't gotten too close yet,
Should
especially
we
since you
avoid
stopped
and
Big Cat.
try to keep going west?
You're about 100 feet away. The closest building, the duck guys, solid guys, and he's got like a cloak that's up, but he hasn't like moved or anything. He just waved back when you waved.
Isn't this where we're supposed to be going? Maybe not.
No, we're
This-
still meandering around the city.
This appears to be around the southwestern side of the town before you get back to the main road.
Well, I feel like we should just go say hi. I mean, very interested in this kind of bird folk. Do not deny the ducks for me, guys.
Yeah, it's. I can maybe take a nap.
Yeah.
I think about it, Tim-Tam is pretty exhausted because Tim-Tam didn't get a long rest. So you head up there and stand quietly in front of this house, bathed in warm light of its lanterns. Are 3 sullen gray cloaked figures. Their angular beaks and black sheened feathers are half hidden under their cowls. You approach in a friendly manner.
Yes.
Is
course.
Saxton and Big Cat and everybody coming? And Tim-Tam and Nyhm and
Nym's gonna stick
Dragging my
close to.
feet.
Sorry.
See.
Oh, yeah. Nyhm would be sticking close to Irene, considering she's technically the person we're escorting. But yeah, would have to travel with the group because apparently the big cat is directing all of the movement now.
Big Cat's not moving because Saxton put the heel in, so to speak.
Oh, I must have missed that part. So we're voluntarily going towards this area.
You would need to go around it if you wanted to avoid it to get to the road anyway.
Oh, okay. And Saxon's doing a pretty good job of handling Big Cat.
Yeah, Big Cat's just sitting there.
Okay.
He's not putting up a fight or anything.
Okay. So then the question is, for the party, are we going to stop and investigate? Are we going to ask them if we can camp here, or are we going to continue on and find our own spot?
We've traveled like a mile and we're already to start breaking camp.
Oh,
I
right.
mean, Hemlock is going to say hello. Tim-Tam is like zombie dragging its feet behind Hemlock.
Like saw a shiny ball.
Okay, since the big armored cat isn't coming up to this house, The guards say, move out of your way and show a wing to the door for you all. And as you enter, you see that this hovel is decorated, and it is a comfortable room, and there's a fireplace. Wooden statuettes of duck-looking like figures stand in cubby holes along one wall. Tapestry of the forest hangs on the opposite wall. Standing in here with the fireplace, there's another one of these duck folk, but he there seems to be something odd about him. He's wearing robes, and his sleeves are really long, and they seem to be concealing his wings. He has them like folded like this, you know.
So he's
And
not wearing a top hat with a cane.
No.
Okay.
But he's got. They look like the robes of some magic caster. And he turns around, and he sees you all, and says, "Hello."
Well, hello, Yen said.
The name is Casimir Velikov.
I'm Hemlock. These are my friends.
It's nice to meet you, Hemlock. Gives you a little bow. What business do you have with our clan?
Oh, no business. I was just we were just going by, and I thought
Wanted to
you
see the
look-
last of the dusk feathers before we are wiped out?
Oh,
Wiped out? Are you in danger?
Well,
Endangered.
all that's left of us are males. And we're the last of our kind. A few centuries ago, our prince angered the lord of these lands. And in response, he killed all of our women. I can't hear you, little Mapach.
that sounds awful. I don't know what's going on with my eyes.
Yes.
This happens to remind me of a little bit of a fortune that we were given not too long ago. You guys remember the
Fortune.
we were told about a wizard up in these parts. Might be able to help us. Maybe be an ally in these dark times.
I'm not sure of how much help I would be of to you. And he removes his arm from the cloak, and you see inside that the wings of his are clipped.
Oh no.
Ouch.
And he says, I am not sure of what caster your misfortune refers to. I doubt it is about me. The only other wizard that I know of in these lands was seen decades ago. Some mad wizard living up in the mountains. Just north of here, past Lake Zarovich. North of town.
Is that anywhere close to... God, you told me the name of the town earlier. I'm so sorry.
Krezik? No.
Krezik.
Krezik is further west. Lake Zarovich is just north of Valeki, which is where you guys are at.
So this place would be closer than the other one as far as traveling time?
Well, they were sightings of this mad mage up in the mountains there. That was a few years ago. Not sure
I
if
mean,
he's still there.
that checks out with the one we're looking for, right?
That's kind of what I was thinking. I mean, if nothing else, we could probably spare the time, make a quick trip up north, check the area out, see if we can find any sort of traces, and then head on to the west. If everybody's up for it, that is.
Yeah, Irina is the one who knows this place and knows how rest.
Irina shrugs and says, "Well, if this is part of your fortune from Madame Eva, then I think maybe we should pursue it. It might be helpful
Yeah.
for us."
I would happen to agree. Anybody got a problem with that?
Not really.
And maybe we should find her brother first, and then go after a fortune.
Your brother? Casimir says, looking over at Irina. She says, "Yes, his name is Ismark." And then there's like a fade to black, and then like fade into black as she describes what he is and what your guys' situation is. And he says, "Oh dear. Yes, I believe some of our men saw him a day or two ago. But unfortunately, most of our men are out with the Vistani looking for a little girl that went missing of theirs. So I didn't pursue that information further."
What direction is the little girl supposed to be in?
We don't know. My men and the Vistanis, most of the Vistani in this camp, are out searching the nearby woods for her. If they don't find her, at least find her body. Though I doubt much has happened to her. The Vistani are favored by Strahd, so I doubt any of his minions have taken her out.
Okay. So, out of character,
Mhm.
Effectively a side quest. Do we want to try and help find the little girl before we move on our way? Do we want to book it and try to find Irina's brother? Or do we want to sidetrack for the north and try and go for one of the rumors or one of the fortunes?
But do we know where Irina's brother is? We have no idea, right?
We're following the trails.
Last we saw, there was a male Batra who was spotted wandering the woods north of here.
To the north, you say?
Yes.
We should absolutely go north then.
Hemlock?
It's fate.
Irina says, "Well, we have a chance of finding my brother. If he's not dead, at least then we would know."
Well, not only that, but one, we get a chance to check up on the rumor. Two, we get the chance to try and find the Batra that was sighted to the north of here. Three, while doing so, we can also keep an eye out for any traces of the lost little girl. I see no downsides to this if everybody's in agreement.
The mage is also in to the north. The mage sightings.
Mm-hmm. And the bat.
And the bat and the girl. So.
Well, maybe not the girl, but we can.
Well, maybe not the girl, but
nearby woods. Yeah.
I believe in luck.
Fate.
Yeah. Okay. I don't want to say it very loud because you know what happens. Giant wolves, ghosts, hacks,
Pies.
Yeah.
So,
well, if you need a place to rest, I would let you stay in my hovel. I greatly appreciate the help, but I know at least your Corvum friend here looks exhausted.
I will start to slowly lay down like, I don't need you to tell me twice.
Their beds are, these guys are going to be they're like the elven equivalent for Humblewood. So, unlike what you're used to, Tim-Tam, used to having like finely crafted carpentry and stuff. And here, it is all carpentry and such, but the bed itself seems more fluid and organic in design, and it's very much like a bird's nest made at your guys' size. Is what this bed is like.
So, out of character, one quick question: a short rest does not remove a level of exhaustion, does it?
I don't have a level of,
No.
of exhaustion, but I haven't had any kind of rest, and
Yeah.
my HP is lowered.
And that can only be removed by a long rest.
Mm-hmm.
If
Okay.
Depends.
So,
Well, I mean, maybe. That reminds me, actually, you've been traveling for a few hours without that long rest. Give me a con save, Tim-Tam.
Okay, I'm good at that. 24.
Okay. Yeah, you do not have any layers of exhaustion yet, but the more you travel, the higher that DC is going to be, and each time you fail, you gain a level.
At least I am proficient in con save.
okay. So, not to try and lead the group, but I am trying to get the group's opinion here. Callie, do you have any sort of problem with us trying to search around the north now, considering?
No.
Okay. Saxton? Mav?
I'm not in the camp, so
Okay, out of character. Do you
No.
care?
I don't really care.
Okay. So yeah, if Tim-Tam's up for it, we can start the search and do a small little search this afternoon. Come back and rest here for a long rest, which we could hopefully get, and then do a little bit more searching the next day.
Okay.
Or we could buckle down and go ahead and take an extremely long rest, kill the rest of the day here, and then start off brand new tomorrow morning. What do you guys want to do? Stop yawning, Callie.
I mean, that second option sounds amazing.
I can offer you frozen peas. You'd like?
Check out this guy, frozen peas. Whoa.
And he hands you a bowl, and like the cold chill on it is like.
So, what does the party want to do? Are we short resting? Are we long resting? Are we extremely long resting?
Well,
What does Irina want to do?
I would rather go as soon as possible, but Tim-Tam isn't in the best shape. I think it would be wise for us to take a rest for the day.
And
Maybe start tomorrow.
All opposed?
no, we just gotta let them know about Big Cat.
Outside, Big Cat's like, "Oh."
Hypothetically.
I'm letting Hemlock handle this when Nyhm walks away.
Hypothetically. Sir.
Saxton outside. The Big Cat gives a giant yawn, revealing his fangs and such. And Hemlock, you just hear in the distance, "I'm bored.
Oh.
I'm gonna take a nap."
Oh.
Big mood, bro.
So we have to find stables for the Big Cat. We have to let Saxton know of what our plans are. And the rest of us have to figure out how to sleep in a bird's nest.
I mean, half of us are birds, so.
Well, you have no problem. And you're also so tired, I'm not sure you would care if it was a bird's nest or a pile of sticks. And yes, I make that reference ironically. Callie, stop yawning. You're killing me.
Sorry. I've been power washing the driveway all day. I'm so tired.
Oh yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah.
Anyway, so you guys are taking a long rest, right?
Saxton or Mav, are you?
I was thinking of wrapping things up. That's why I'm asking.
That's kind of what I was asking. Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
It was a long mile walk.
I'm assuming we put up Big Cat in the stables after warning
Stables.
Mr. Mr. Mallard, yeah, brain frozen peas.
Staples.
I mean, we'd have to put the big cat somewhere.
This is a
Listen
camp
here.
outside of town.
Oh, do they not have a ring for their horses? Like somewhere that's enclosed that they would put
They do up at the wagons.
Oh, we're still down lower.
Yeah, you're at the foot of the hill. The houses are at the foot of the hill, and then at the very top, the wagons are made like a caravan, and then in the middle of the caravan's a big tent.
Oh boy.
See? Nice radial design.
Oh, nice.
Hey guys, what are we doing?
Here's a picture from like your guys' view when you first saw it. That's better. I like that they did that.
Oh, nice. Okay, so we're at like basically the house in the center on the bottom diagram.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, little hobbit hobbles.
No, they'd be built into the hill if they were hobbits.
They're kind of built into the hill.
So they're kind of hobbits.
Kind of.
God, I'm sorry. So yeah, some way or another, I'm assuming we would have the ability to put Big Cat in a small area that we can contain him, Hemlock, and be able to rest for the night.
Not really, no.
So
At least not traditionally crafted around here.
Who's spending the night with Big Cat?
I can
am,
cuddle
of
him.
course.
So you're going to keep an eye on him outside and sleep outside with the Big Cat?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
okay.
guess.
Then I guess the rest of us will sleep inside, and you'll just keep a hold of the Big Cat. Keep
I
him from
don't know.
getting
He's pretty good protection, to be honest.
I'll stay out there with Callie, Hemlock.
All right. So as you all take your long rest, everybody roll me a d6.
Oh shit.
Cease.
Okay.
3.
All right.
1.
And what about
Yes.
Hemlock?
Oh, 5.
Okay. What is Nym's worst fear?
Oof.
Probably like a flashback of when you were a kid and something happening that would cause you to join the Bandit Coalition?
No, there's
No?
a worse thought.
Okay.
Not sure how much of you remember of the backstory for Nyhm. Their friend, who they're on the adventure to try and find with this little ragtag group, their greatest fear would be either A, finding that friend dead and broken, or B, having them effectively turned to the assassins and the killings and the darker side of the bandit group that they left to begin with, and having the friend being attacking Nyhm to brain, either finding them dead or finding them coming at them hostily.
Okay. What would this friend look like?
Do you ever play Final Fantasy IX?
No.
For
I'm
those
sorry.
who have, no, you're fine. For those who have, it's basically Freya from Final Fantasy IX. It's another Jerbeen.
You showed me Freya, so
Yeah, the Lancer, not the Lancer, the
Red Mage?
Dragoon.
Oh, Dragoon. Okay.
No, she was dressed in red, but she was technically a Dragoon. She has the jump ability that the Jerbeens do,
Mhm.
but she uses a lance or a spear as her weapon.
Okay. I'll say while you're resting and you're sleeping, you have a nightmare. Tim-Tam, you're in the same room as Nyhm. I would like a perception check. At disadvantage, because you're really tired. But,
Oh, it's almost a not 20, but it's a 4.
okay. Yeah, you just pass the fuck out, you know.
No, it's a 4 because it's a disadvantage.
Yeah. So you don't notice anything. So you
Oh,
just
yeah, okay.
pass the fuck out.
Okay.
Nyhm, you have the nightmare where you're back at like a really, really fierce battle, where it's the Birdfolk Council raiding one of the major encampments for the Bandit Coalition. and like things are on fire, and the Birdfolk Coalition is way more powerful. So if they can attack you guys directly with force, there's not even a chance. Like, you guys are guerrilla warriors, essentially. So they found they're flushing out your guys' hideout and stuff in the dream, and you find your friend dead, and their body is like all mangled up and stuff. And as you're just like over their body, like grieving and stuff, their hand immediately shoots up and grabs you by the neck, and like their head makes a bunch of snappy noises, and they look at you, and like one eye is like popped out, and they're like, "Why did you leave me? Why did we leave? We could have stayed," stuff like that. And it's just really bad dream. And even after like that happens, you wake up from that nightmare, but when you try to go back to sleep, you can never really get sleep. So everybody else except for Nyhm gets a long rest. And Tim-Tam, your max HP goes back to normal. However, Nym's max hit points go down by 2.
Oof.
And you all get up for the morning, and as you're getting up for the morning, coming into the tent is one of these duck folk, and behind them is a Batra. And Irina like goes to get up and sees him. It's like, "Isaac?" And the duck folk like moves out of the way, and you guys see that it is Isaac, alive and well. And he gives a smile, and we will end there.
It's a much happier note than what I was afraid you were going to stop it on.
So, as we end it there for the night, does anyone have any plugs that they would like to say?
Follow me on Twitter, Capt Callie. I do commissions. Please commission me. Thank you. That's it.
Callie did the artwork. It's really small in the overlay, but for both Hemlock and Nyhm, as an example. If no one else has anything to say, thank you for watching, and we'll see you all next week. The next game on this channel will be Retroverse Corruption, which will be at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Friday. So we'll see you all then. Thanks for watching again. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.